there is an onslaught of attacks against Elon Musk right now. And it seems like the Democrats smell blood in the water. They're like, this is our chance for our first win. We're going to take out the unelected guy who's running around. They're saying that he's trying to access classified files or files he's not allowed to see at places like USAID. Trump came out yesterday and said he hasn't seen and he's not allowed to see anything that we don't permit him to see. So calm down. And then do we have the Harry Enton clip? Because he was on CNN showing the disapproval of Elon. We'll have it in a second. But here's AOC first going off about him.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. The danger in
why is she laughing?
The lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button inevitably. They are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
Okay,
if you're going to
make
like
Obamacare, literally rescuing astronauts stuck on the International Space Station with his rockets right now. He's unintelligent, she says. He's literally working to solve paralysis with his Neuralink chip that goes in your brain and makes you control a computer with your eyes. It's actually happening right now with actual human beings. What is she? She's trying to sell us that he's dumb. She is trying to sell us that Elon is dumb.
It sounds smart when you're saying that the guy who can drop a rocket on a dime in the middle of Texas is dumb. She sounds like a total moron when she's saying that. That is remarkable. Yeah.
I mean, Elon is clearly the most, I think it's just like fairly true, like the most consequential entrepreneur of our lifetimes, perhaps. I mean, between Tesla and SpaceX alone, like that's a pretty big deal. The potential for something like Neuralink is even more profound and quite frankly has just become this kind of cultural icon as well. At the same time, like while he's raised his profile on the political scene, there are moments where Elon is tweeting that I wish he would just kind of pull back on the stick a little bit.
There are moments where he's engaged in
this kind of like public hyperbole. I'm just like, dude, could you chill? Because when I look at what Doge aspires to do, at least on paper, to the extent there is any kind of specific details about it, like it's hard for me to get mad about that. Like being concerned, like radically obsessed even with cutting the size of government, with reducing waste it's just a noble and sensible goal. And when I see what they're actually doing so far, to the extent anyone knows what's going on, there's a bunch of young kids with laptops or younger people with laptops. Sometimes they get in trouble for using the word kid, are showing up in meetings and they're asking questions and they're trying to look at code bases. We don't actually know what the hell is going on. There is nothing that suggests to me that the level of panic that has seized the Democratic Party and people who hate Donald Trump in general, and apparently Elon as well, there's nothing that seems to justify that at the moment. But I don't think that the way that they're going about things and the kind of attempts at provocation around these issues is necessarily like great for Elon. Maybe the Democrats kind of overstep and are way out over their skis. At the moment, he's being accused of committing all kinds of crimes, and there's panic because these kids like know how to code and are maybe coding things. People should probably be more panicked about the fact that the payment systems are written in these old, antiquated programming languages. Nobody actually knows how any of this stuff works. It isn't well documented. The government has the capacity to screw things up all on its own with its longtime experts and longtime consultants. That is what they did with Obamacare. Why? I'm not particularly frightened by programmers showing up and taking a look at code and trying to assess
the programs
how
are
things
interesting.
work and if they could be better.
Why are we auditing Matt Taibbi with our IRS and no one's auditing USAID to figure out why we're spending millions on Irish, what is it, dances? I don't, like DEI dances.
Dancing. It's lovely. You should come check it out, Kelly. You'll love it.
Why, if we're going to take a hard look at the Matt Taibbi's of the world, which was started under Joe Biden, why can't we spend a sharp accountant for USAID? And the answers in both cases are because these are political. decisions, 100% political decisions. By the way, Trump should drop that Matt Taibbi IRS thing, and he should pull the feds off of James O'Keefe too. I find it very disturbing. I mean, this seems to be some government slush fund that has gotten away with too much for too long. So Elon's starting here, and this is because he's received nonstop negative coverage. You watch the news, that's what you hear, the AOC soundbite. You hear him being talked about like he's some sort of an idiot who wants to sneak in on all of our private files. Meanwhile, it's like, what do I care? Do I really care whether Elon sees like I don't know, my social security number? I think he's good. I don't think we're in danger of identity theft. He's set. He's not going to be doing the home title theft against the four of us. But okay, fine. I don't want anybody snooping around, so it's fine. And he's not. But here you get the CNN, like they aired this on the Harry Enten thing, just to make sure we all know people don't like him.
A key role for Musk and Trump's administration. You see this 39% support, 53%, the clear majority opposed. They don't want this. The American people don't want this. The American folks, simply put, do not want Elon Musk having a key role in the Trump administration. Elon Musk's net favorable rating, back in 2016 when he was known as the SpaceX guy, right? His net favorable rating was plus 29 points. By last year, pre-fall, he had dropped all the way down to -3 as he began to take on more of a political role. Now look in 2025. Whoa, the bottom has fallen out, minus 11 points. And it should be noted that Donald Trump's own net favorable rating is closer to about a net 0. So Elon Musk at this particular point is far more unpopular than Donald Trump is, who is at the apex of his popularity. In fact, what we see with Elon Musk is he is at the trough of his popularity.
Harry's been doing some workouts.
Harry. Yeah. I want to defend Harry, by the way, who is great. And if you go back to clips, he's a very straight shooter. I'll just be honest. Harry is a fantastic guy. And if you go back during the last election, you could put together an amazing supercut of Harry giving hosts on CNN news that they didn't want to hear. And you're like, all these numbers, and they were like, is that real? And he's like, yes, it's real. But again, that actually doesn't surprise me, in the sense that, as you point out, Megyn, there has been, and I have a huge number of issues with Elon Musk, and I think there's things you have to guard against of a guy that has, companies that have government contracts being entangled with the government. You have to keep a close watch on these things. I don't like his interactions with the AfD in Germany, et cetera. But the negative coverage has been wildly disproportionate. And you see that on TikTok, you see it on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere I go, I see this stuff. So it doesn't surprise me in any way that those numbers have collapsed, because, it was mostly positive coverage before. And this is just not the case now.
Well, look, they just spent 2 weeks telling us he did a Nazi salute. Right. And he's like, that's pro-Hitler.
That one might hurt too.
Every word that's uttered about him is negative in the news. And so it's actually kind of impressive that he's only minus 11. The guy who runs around firing everybody doesn't tend to be popular. Remember that movie Up in the Air? Is that what it was called? Is it Up in the Air?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. With George Clooney, where he's firing everybody.
Oh, yeah. I think
good
that's
movie.
Am I confusing that one for the balloon one with the cute old man, the cartoon?
I think that's just Up. That one is Up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Like
Up in the Air was written by
MAGA.
Wasn't Up in the Air was written by MAGA stalwart Walter
Kern.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes,
oh my gosh.
was a MAGA guy. Yes.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm a fan of his. Well, by the way, this just in, Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets. This is just happened, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments. Right on, Caroline. This is this is wonderful. Why? Who would be, other than Politico, opposed to this kind of testing of what use is being made of our federal dollars? We continue to face uncertainty when it comes to the economy, with a perfect storm brewing as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point, as the largest generation is hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. You pair that with our growing national debt and our rising cost of living, and we could have a very big problem on our hands. So what are you doing now to protect your family for the future? Are you diversifying? Gold can be very useful to you in this. It can be a safe haven in hard economic times. And Birch Gold has a super great reputation, and they will make it very easy to diversify a portion of your savings, if you so choose, into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k in whole or in part into an IRA in gold, and it will not cost you 1 cent out of pocket. Protect your future today. Text MK to 989898 and get your free info kit on gold and a copy of The Ultimate Guide for Gold in the Trump Era with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, just information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. You just text my initials, MK, to the number 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.